Alright, the Mercedes A35 AMG.
How may I help you? What can I do for you?
Nothing, thank you.
Can you say that again, please?
Thank you, cancel, bye.
What would you like to do?
My god, nothing. This is the Mercedes-Benz A35 AMG. Now, let's just get straight to the point. This thing costs 367,000 ringgit. 367,000 ringgit for an A class. For an A class. It's a lot of money, but you also get a lot of car, because when Mercedes-Benz puts on a turbo 4MATIC sticker as well as a AMG emblem on any of their cars, you know they mean business. So I've been driving this car for a while, a couple of days, and blown away. Okay, I'm sort of already convinced that yes, this thing costs 367,000 ringgit. But I still can't wrap my head around it, because you still can get a lot of other nice cars, which I'll get to later. Let's talk about this car for a second. Well, let me show you around. Let's take it for a drive. I'll show you the interior. Then I'll tell you what I really think about it. For now, let's see. So, as with most hot hatches in this category, where is it? It runs on a 2-liter turbocharged engine. Except this engine is based on the A250 and not the one in the A45. That is bespoke engine. This one though, like I said, is based on the A250 engine, except it has a ton of modification because it produces 306 horsepower, 400 Newton meters of torque, and Mercedes-Benz says that it'll do 0 to 100 in about 4.6, 4.7 seconds, which is plenty fast. It is a hoot to drive, really. It's so much fun. It's connected to a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, and it has all-wheel drive. So, and it's an intelligent all-wheel drive, so it will transfer power between front and back as it sees fit. It's seriously a really nice engine, except for the fact that there is some turbo lag. So as soon as you put your foot down, I'll show you later, as soon as you put your foot down, you wait about half a second, 1 second, slightly less than that, and only then it sort of realize that, hey, this guy wants some power, so it transfers power to the wheels. So you gotta kind of wait on it, and unfortunately that even happens in Sport Plus mode, and you sort of just adjust to it. There's one way around it, and that's always to keep the engine rung up and do your gear shifts manually. So once you do that though, then you can always keep the revs in the sweet spot and get some instant power delivery. Let's check out the inside. You know, the interior of the latest generation Mercedes-Benzes look great. They also feel great. I'm guilty of telling people that some of the plastic bits in the new generation Mercedes-Benz feel plastic-ish. But after driving this one, I actually quite like it. I especially like this AMG, Mercedes-Benz AMG seats. They look great. In fact, they are some of the best looking seats in the industry. However, because of their thin padding, they're not very comfortable. I imagine over long distance they'd probably give you a sore bum. But no doubt, look fantastic, and they grip you in all the right places, especially in fast corners. What I really do not like about these seats though is the fact that in the previous generation, if I'm not mistaken, in the A45 AMG, you could adjust the settings to the seat, like the bolstering and such, through buttons that were mounted on the side of the seats. However, in this generation, the A35 AMG, all the seat settings are in the MBUX multimedia system, which means it's incredibly complicated to access. Let me show you. Today's Sunday. On Friday when I picked up the car, I could find the settings quite easily. Didn't have much luck yesterday. I couldn't find the seat settings for the life of me. Let's see if I manage to find it now. Start system. Settings. Come on, assistance, active lane, vehicle, winter tires, auto seat adjustment, no, belt adjustment, no, acoustic lock, irritating, automatic locking, sure, automatic fold in, yes please, filling station search, okay, lights, no, system, styles and display, no. My god, controls, let's see, maybe it's in here, no. I think you get my point. It's not a very easy thing to access. So everything from the bolstering to the adjustment, the basic adjustments you can do from this. This is for back support, this is talking about the bolstering and such, and that is only available in here. The MBUX system, so it makes it incredibly complicated. The other thing that I do not like is, I think I have some pretty long arms, so if I wanted to access this, the touchpad, it's quite awkward. Like I really have to move my arm, and if I'm sitting next to somebody like I was yesterday, so you get some shoulder or arm rubbing action going on if you want to touch the touchpad. Anyway, fantastic, brilliant interior. I do, however, do not like this mini touchpads, right? So if you see this, there's an X over here, but I can't press the X. So how I'm supposed to get rid of that is by pressing this over here. So if I just finger it down, it flicks through the screen over here and yada yada yada. Except that when you're driving fast, in fast corners and such, see what I mean? It just sort of, your arm, your palm just sort of rubs up wrongly against it, and all your adjustments, everything that you've done prior to driving this car is all gone, simply because of these two fellas over here. So the key to it is to hold on firmly and not to let your palm run around, of course. But other than that, fantastic interior, great. The quality is amazing, nice. There's big, you see all the dust and such. Same over here. Some carbon fiber again would be great over here, but yeah, it is what it is. Let's go check out the back seat, which I'm told is quite spacious. Now keep in mind that the front seat is adjusted to my height. I'm roughly about 6 feet tall, so not bad at all, not bad. Let's check out the boot. It's quite spacious. I don't think I would be able to fit my baby stroller, enough luggage for a weekend getaway. Nah, not gonna fit in here. But it's still pretty decent, not bad. Design-wise, I actually quite like it. It's actually a very handsome car. I love the rims. The gold rims are very Racer boy-ish. Remember gold rims, Subaru and such, WRX, STI. I love it. I love the STI. See, the Racer boy in me. I love the diffuser in here, the rear diffuser, the blacked out exhausts. Really very nice. The A45 and the A35 have the same top spoiler. Over to the side, you get these gold stickers, which look quite good if you ask me, and some massive AMG 4-port calipers over there. They look great. They're also fantastic when you're attacking corners. Brilliant. Oh yeah, there's also a vent over here, and it's a functional vent. Functional in the sense that there's air that comes in from the front and it comes out through here, and what this is supposed to do is that it's supposed to create a vortex of such to cool the brakes. Mercedes-Benz Formula 1 technology, you wouldn't expect anything lesser, right? Over to the front, just a bunch of fins, double diffuser, double front lip, sorry, and the difference between the A45 and the A35 is that the A35 gets these two slits over here, whereas the A45 gets vertical slits. But it's a brilliant looking car. Let's take it for a drive. A35 AMG. Fantastic amount of fun. It's seriously 300. You can never go wrong with 306 horsepower, 400 Newton meters of torque. Can never go wrong, right? At any point in time, all you gotta do is this. Unless some asshole comes in front of you. And yeah, that's what happens when you don't pay attention to what's behind you. Anyway, the only issue with the A35 AMG that I've heard about a lot is people complaining about the price. There's no doubt that 367,000 ringgit is a lot of money, but I don't think you'll appreciate how great this car is until you actually drive it, because look at this fast right-hander, and it's absolutely flat, no dramas. Okay, of course I didn't take that very fast, but there's absolutely no dramas, right? And the thing is, this car has been engineered for fun. Okay, you can say that it's 100 over 1,000 more than the standard A250, which if you put it side by side next to a standard A250, there's no doubt, right, that they sort of somewhat look similar. In fact, they even have the same engine. It's the same engine that drives the A250, except this is a bit more, it's not a bit more, it's more highly tuned, right? So the A250 costs about 255 something thousand, whereas this one costs 367,000. So that's 117,000 ringgit more for a car that is engineered for fun. Would you pay 117,000 ringgit more for a car that just gives you more fun as compared to an A250? You should. You really should, because these are the type of cars that will put a smile on your face, that makes driving fun again. Okay, of course you need the right set of roads, you need right set of circumstances, not being stuck in traffic like me over here, which is boring. Anyway, back to the point. The Mercedes-Benz A35 AMG is the type of car that you buy if you have too much money lying around. You don't want an A250. The A45 somewhat, it's a bit too hardcore, because there's no doubt in hell that something that has over 400 horsepower, assuming the A45 S-La has over 400 horsepower, it's such a small package. Yeah, this is the type of car that you want. The A35 AMG, well, it costs about 117,000 ringgit more than the standard A250, which is somewhat a car that this is based on. Considering the fact that it runs on the same engine, except that it can't do this. Traffic light, drag petals have just got a whole new dimension to it. A lot more fun. Braking. Yeah, man. Anyway, it costs about 117,000 ringgit more, and doesn't look all that much different when parked side by side, right? But the entire fun of this car is underneath the chassis. The suspension, for example, is now solid mounted. There are no more rubber bushings, which gives it an almost immediate sort of character. It responds to the slightest steering input. Suspension is solid mounted. The steering column, for example, is mounted directly to the body now, which means that even the slightest input is immediately picked up by the wheels. So there's no delay whatsoever. What you get is an extremely responsive car, which is not like the A250. So that's the type of things that you can do with this car. Imagine the A45. So that's what 117,000 ringgit gets you. A lot of people say, yeah, just save the money and get an A250 and modify law, so easy. Why want to spend so much money? Buy a house better lah. Nonsense, it's all bullshit. If you think you can do a better job than the guys at AMG, you're dreaming. Put it in sport mode, and it all goes away. I don't know if you noticed that though, that every time you floor, I floor the pedal, there's a slight delay. There's a delay in the response. That's a turbo lag over there. And it takes about half a second for it to spool up and then just whoosh. But it's sort of like, has a lazy character. It's sort of like, oh yeah, this guy wants a bit more power, so guys, let's give it to him. But of course this happens in about half a second or 1 second, of course less than a second. But there's a turbo lag, turbo delivery. But I think they did it on purpose lah, because if it's so good, then why would people want to buy the A45? Of course that creates 400 horses and such. It's completely ballistic, I imagine. But so is this. This is a pretty nice car to drive. And then, what else can I tell you? I already told you about the seats. I love the seats. The MBUX entertainment system, fantastic. The sound system is brilliant, but it's incredibly complicated as well. I just like to listen to my music, some adjustments here and there, and that's it. Otherwise it's just a lot of too much gadgetry for me. I just put it on the dynamic lighting system and let the entire system decide what lights it wants to be. That's just, I'm not bothered about what kind of lights the interior has. And I do like the air conditioning vents though. They look like they've been, properly engineered by some aircraft company. Suspension is very stiff though, no doubt about it. It is ultimately a super hot hatch, so fast corners, no issues. Brake, downshift, one more. Fast corner, no issues. No issues at all, mate. Look at the body control. Woo! People pay so much money for an A35. That's why. So that's what 367,000 ringgit gets you. No complaints whatsoever. This is ultimately a performance hot hatch, a super hot hatch. Throw comfort out the window, throw luxury out the window. You want something like that, get an E-Class. But this is all about pure driving fun. Nothing else. And if you have a bit more money to spend, get an A45. has racing pedigree in it, Formula 1, multiple world championships. What is that? Formula 1 team didn't have anything to do with this? You might be right, but there is some transfer of knowledge here and there. There's always is, right? And gives you plenty of bragging power at the mamak table, or if you're like me, then at the bar, that you're driving a car that's built by a company that has won so many world titles that it's hard to keep up anymore. All is well and good in life if you're driving an A35 AMG and then you meet an irritating MyV driver. Why la bro? Don't bother with the A250. Don't bother at all. Save your money. Buy an A35. Save the money, buy an A35. You'll thank me for it. You can drop me a message on my YouTube channel. You can drop me a message on my Facebook channel. You'll be thankful. Listen to this. Okay, so there's no faulting this car. Already said what I wanted to say, and I don't imagine a lot of people will be spending so much money on a small car like this. But do yourself a favor, if you have the money, buy it. Buy it too. Buy the A35. Just make sure you buy it. You know what? The only thing that I can fault about this car is the price. 367,000 ringgit. It's a lot of money, but then you consider that the new A45S costs about 450,000 ringgit, which is roughly about 80,000 ringgit more. 80,000 ringgit, that's the price of a Vios or a Honda City. But then again, you can't put a price to impeccable performance. The way the car drives, the way the power is delivered, even though there's some turbo lag and such. But it's such an amazing car to drive. It's so much fun. So, if you have some money lying around, or you have a rich daddy and you just got a bunch of straight A's in SPM or whatever it is, this is the car that you want to beg your daddy for. Or if you have some money lying around and you want to buy a car to go to the market, you know, take the winding road to the market and come back, this is the car you want. That still is the ultimate hot hatch, hands down. I'm gonna go take it for a drive. Only returning it tomorrow. Unfortunately, I can't take it out of state, otherwise it would be Genting. But I know some really fun roads. Thank you for watching.